because that's what I do. You know, like Joseph. You know, have you ever read the story of Joseph? You know, when you watch that movie, what is it? The Joseph, King of Dreams. You know, the DreamWorks thing. When they're in prison, and the one guy, you know, he says, "No, the Pharaoh's. You did this, and Pharaoh's going to have you killed, and you did this, and you're innocent, and you'll be. You know what I'm saying." You know, kind of like getting hit in the eye with gamma radiation stuff and then having special powers. All that stuff's complete bullshit. It does not happen. Okay. Using toxic stuff and giving yourself superpowers through toxic stuff to survive toxic stuff, that's not real, guys. That's all magical thinking from wackadoodles that want to. Um, I don't get, quote, superpowers from toxic situations. Okay, Joseph didn't either. Okay. It was our faith and an eternal, you know, when you're Joseph, you know, Potiphar's wife and stuff, and when you do the right thing and other people do the wrong thing because they're embarrassed, Potiphar puts him in jail because his wife hit on the slave and the slave turned her down. Okay. And she got mad. Okay. That's pretty bad. You can't let the truth of that go out. That's embarrassing. Okay. You buy a slave. The woman says, "You're a better man than my husband. Have sex with me." The slave says, "I can't. You're married. That's wrong. You know, I would not do that." You know. And then she says, "He tried to rape me," and then they incarcerate him. And Potiphar knows damn well what kind of woman his wife is. Right? And so when you sit and you look at the only way someone can fix computing, okay, that's based off bad brain activity is that he eternally does not have bad brain activity and won't try to, "Oh, I can't say this because I don't want people to get in trouble." Want everybody to live the Lord's Prayer. Okay. If not if, when we're living the Lord's Prayer and you don't like it and want to commit suicide because you're no longer Jeffrey Epstein or the president or the admiral or the general or the, you know, here, buy me insurance, sell me a car and Carvana, then that's your, you know, go kill yourself then. You know, oh boy, you can't be large and in charge of the top circus gimmicks anymore, Barnum and Bailey, and you know, if you can't be happy because you can't be in charge in everybody's sexual fantasy, you'd rather kill yourself than be, you know, the second fiddle to Edmond Dantes' Calmine Devo. Then by all means go do it. You know, nobody wants to tolerate. Remember the good old days when I used to home invade and rape people with science projects? And no, nobody had good old days. Fuck you. So there's degrees of, you know, Elijah and Lawrence are being abused by perverts that had home invasion in our house, okay, through espionage before Lawrence and Elijah were ever born, okay? And then they have these scientists, here's what he's doing, he's crazy. And then they believe it because they believe the comic book, and they have to believe the comic book because they're being one of Potiphar's servants, and well, she didn't try to do that with me because I'm not, you're not like Joseph, no, you're not like Daniel, you're not, you know, you won't stand up to the people that invent the cartels to keep their hero jobs without fear to stop it from happening. It's Earl, it's in the Bible, it's the last book of Revelation. Okay, there you go. See what I'm saying? Okay. Now, once I explain the sin to you and you reject it, most likely it's because you have brain damage from the people you have an extortion gig with that bombard you and cause brain damage in you through Wi-Fi. And so I'm very understanding, I'm very forgiving. I just don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm sick of talking to you. I'm sick of looking at you and getting Amy the zombie who had sex with Yorgev, and that's not my wife anymore, right? Oh my God. You know. Amy couldn't have a good sex life with me. Okay. Technically, if I wasn't the Messiah, yes. Okay. If I wasn't the Messiah, Amy could have been doopy 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 doo and then started having sex with me and then a continual sex life without being sexually predicated on by the Vatican and the Quorum of the 12 and the worst leg lifting shitheads at the bar that were jealous of me and all that. And they can say, baby, yes. Okay. Women are receivers and men are transmitters. Men, oh, he thinks he's all that. I'll show him. Okay. And that affects their children. And their children can't have, their children, if they don't know who the dad is, and I'm raising him because the biological didn't bother, then we have a good relationship. Okay. It's hard for me to get across to him, no, you cannot stay up all night. No, you can't do this. No, 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 no. And so the relationships can be very challenging at times because the kids act like the biological father and not like me. Okay. With me and Patrick, it was really pretty easy. The only problems we had with Patrick was the system allowing Stephanie to manipulate us with money and access, with money. If there was no system with money and there was no scientist studying us, me and Patrick would have had no problems whatsoever. We'd have been awesome. We already were pretty much awesome because we have perverts with science projects and money manipulating us and saying, here, give the lesbian the child. Yeah. The kid doesn't want to, and it makes sense that Patrick didn't want to share me with Amy because it was a science project going in the wrong direction. And he was more comfortable with the science project of his mom because when I didn't take tax money from his mom, all the crazy shit she said I did, when he spent more time with me and she was out at the lesbian bars and he didn't have to tolerate her being at her house so she could get money and having to listen to her and Shar have sex all night, putting her to bed at 7:00, then, with Dad, no, that this stuff didn't happen. I didn't put him to bed and say, okay, I'm going to have sex with, And when Amy came, that's happening. It's like, yeah, but it's going to be a lot different with me than with Shar and Steffi. Yeah. No, I'm all about the kids. And so, he just didn't understand it because he had never, what happened was Amy and Barbara and Stephanie and Kay, they all just, 4 women together. Oh God, that's worse than 1 boy's a boy, 3 boys are shit, 1 girl's a girl, 2 girls is a little girl, and 3 girls is a bitch. Okay, do you understand? Yeah, okay. Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy means, hey, let's get together and go find some bitches and fuck them. That's what oh boy is. 1 boy's a boy, 2 boys is a little boy, and 3 boys is oh boy. Hey, let's go to spring break into Juarez. That's 3 boys. Okay. And the bitch, you better have a big bag of money if you want to fuck me. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you need money to fuck me. Yeah, idolatry sucks, doesn't it, though? Okay, seriously, right? So there's a reason why Earl is the eternal spirit of the Father they know as Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John, and Jesus isn't the God in your head from the comic book salespeople at the Vatican church store with Charlton Heston pretending to be Michelangelo with that bitch of a pope, right? Okay, and the movie endorsed by the Vatican about St. Anthony, it's a movie for propaganda for a corporation that still asks you for money to live here and trains your kids to go to Cathedral High School and experience how to make money the proper way. How do you solve a problem? How do you keep a moonbeam in your hand? You don't. Okay, can't keep away from puns. No. Unless you freeze it. You could be Mr. Free. You could be Arnold Schwarzenegger pretending to be, the bad guy in a Batman movie with riddle me this, riddle me that. Is that what is Carrie the Riddler in that one? I don't know. I didn't watch those that much. I watched some of the ones with Christian Bale, kind of, not really. They didn't hold my interest too long. I'm like, oh, okay, excessive compulsive narcissism. So I'm like, I watched the Wakanda one because I wanted Wesley Snipes to play T'Challa back when they did the Blade stuff. I wanted him to do them then, right? And I was like, okay, so they finally made him, so let's go see it. I watched it, totally pissed me off, yes. And then I get people, it does not line up with the original comic books. You're full of shit. Okay, there was nothing about the CIA in the original comic book. I read the original comic book. I'm older than you. Okay, so don't tell me it's like the original comic book. It's propaganda bullshit. It sucks. The old stuff was propaganda bullshit? Yes, but it was more of a naive, innocent propaganda bullshit. Now it's like, oh boy, they're going to tell us what they're doing, and then they're going to do it. We're going to fuck you in the head, and then we're going to fuck you again. You're going to pay us money to do it. Wakanda forever. Yeah, fuck you. Okay. Seriously, fuck you. Oh, Vietnam. Green Dragon, fuck you. Hey, Patrick Swayze dead now. Forrest Whitaker, do you miss him? Or did you not like him? You made the movie to pay your bills, but maybe you didn't like the guy. Maybe so. He was disgusting. I hate those fucking videos. When they show those ones of Chris Perez, she was disgusting, blah, 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 they just do that to get you to watch the video. It doesn't say that. No, they had a hard time in the marriage because it was the same thing with Renee Elizondo and Mark Mark Anthony and guys, they'll do it right in front of you. What are you doing with him? I'm bigger and stronger. I can fuck better than he can. They will do it right in front of the husband. What are you going to do about it, Mark? Huh. You know Taekwondo. So do I. You think you want wearing these American flag pants? You want a roundhouse kick to the face with these? I don't think so. I go to home to a professional woman bodybuilder every night. Yeah. I've been trained in secret ninja moves by the government. Yeah. I also had to pay my bills pretending to be one of Drew Carey's friends for years, too. Yeah. Shit. Patriots.com. Buy my generator and buy my MREs. Don't buy MREs. MREs are disgusting. Don't buy those. They suck. It's nice to have a supply of food. If you have 2 freezers, so you don't have to make lots of trips to the store as much, so you can help cut down on global warming because of economic conflict, that'll help. Having a solar generator, it does help produce energy at your house that takes down the pollution from the grid and helps your neighbors that can't afford it have less pollution thing and better for their electrical bill and better the way their electricity works. Like what happened when we had those rolling blackouts when we were at Casa Mia and everybody went down and our air conditioner and everything worked better because we were low on the totem pole. And then when we were the only section running, it's like, wow, Food City and us. Check it out. I almost felt guilty because people were dying. Old people were dying because of the heat exposure and not having what they needed through mechanization to survive the hell. They couldn't survive it. It was too difficult for them. Yeah, it's blind motocross runner scene there, just thinning out the herd, right? Ha ha, it's funny. Yeah, get in your tiny home and get the fuck out of here. Okay, I don't want to talk to you. You didn't want to talk to me. That's okay, because I'm done talking to you. I didn't want to talk to you in the first place. I just, science project. Okay. Yeah, and they think that. And they think everybody's a science project. And they're not. They're a human being that's been abused by very bad people. Like I told Natalia, I said, if you're in this town and you've had a rough life like Vanessa, Deja's mom, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It might mean the exact opposite, that you by nature are a good person or being tortured to torture me. Do you understand? So Shannon, okay, don't accuse me of being a drug dealer. You see what I'm saying? Peggy's mom wanted to get... Peggy liked having sex with the black guys to get away from the assholes in her family, right? And to show the assholes in the family, he's better in bed than you. Like with Leroy and the black guys. And so, but she couldn't get out of the way of herself. She was the gang mentality. She sat there and talked about Negro because she didn't want the jealous Mexican guys in her family to kill Leroy. It was a jealous black guy instead. It was Clint. They were just horrible. She came from a horrible family and she wanted to get out and she couldn't. So she did drugs because life was too miserable. The same with Peggy's sister and the same with Peggy, and it affects all the kids. And they're not bad people. Okay. You never met a nicer girl when I was growing up than Michelle Pettis. She was the coolest. And Peggy was as big of a sweetheart. But it was horrible. And life was mean and it was terrible. Like when she lost her virginity and yelled at what's his name? Benny. He deserved it. He was a bitch. He was acting like a bitch. But no, guys, not everybody has the same conditions. Some people are very selfish and do things because they're selfish. Okay. And then the effects of the selfish make people, like Peggy would always tell everybody, I went to Clint University, right? And Clint was trying to survive, but he was a gardener and he's probably a little bit like Stacy and he's kind of a dumbass. Okay. And then you got to deal with a kid who comes from a mom who's trying to be good, but these people are horrible. And then she gets with a dumbass who knows the right things to say to have sex with him. Yeah, I know. When you put balls on the back of your car and you call yourself a gorilla pimp and shit like that, you're a dumbass. No, Peggy's right. Okay. She didn't know till after she married him. He's had all the right things to say. She did all the right things for him. Thought, if I'm nice enough, it'll change him. Yeah, you all think that. Yeah, but it's not going to happen. When a person thinks with their dick, you know. And that's why it was sad, because, you know, she sits there and talked about all the girls that she fought with, all these dickheads around her. I was like, Debbie Trujillo and me were friends. I liked Debbie. You know, tell her I didn't have to act crazy like that after that. Well, guys, you know, she was good enough looking to hold a man without giving in to a dickhead that treats her like shit to have him for sex. No, you just leave. I'm good looking. I got a nice body. I can get a lot better guys than you. Fuck you. Get out. But they don't. They don't do that. You're like, why don't you just tell them that? You know how many of us guys, you won't fuck around on me, will you? Okay. Well, because I'll be doggone if love ain't a man's best friend, baby, you know. And if I ever found out that you was no good, but it is impossible. It is literally impossible through this debt and trespass and this scientific agreed to Supreme Court Pentagon society to have a wife that can remain faithful in all facets of being faithful, mentally, emotionally, physically, so forth, right? It's impossible. She can't do it. If she looks in the mirror and stares at the wrinkles that weren't there yesterday, right? She can't be, it's like I told you guys, she'll be being fucked by you because you got a bank, but she'll be thinking, why can't you be like Earl? Why can't you be like King David, Goliath? Why do you have to be a fucking Philistine? Why do you have to do the Odyssey all over again? You grew up riding the subways, running with people. It happens in Boston just like it happens in New York and Philly too. Oh, let's go to the Palestra and watch the games and think, I'm going to be a great basketball player or coach someday. Just forgive debt and trespass. Love one, eternal, faithful peace. Put your peaches in the basket. Apples, peaches, pumpkin, chicken, turkey, country ham, love me for just I am. You can't. If they abuse you, you can't stay and be loved by them. Okay. I had to do that with Patrick's mother. I couldn't stay. I had to go away. A writer takes his pen to write the words again that all in love is fair. And fair is foul and foul is fair. When you're writing love songs for money and having to pay assholes to live here and things you can see. Okay. And truth is truth. And you can be blind and still understand truth. And you don't have to see truth. You feel it. This person's not cheating on me. They love me. They feed me. They're kind to me. I don't need some kind of gamma radiation access of superpowers to be the best lawyer in the history of lawyers of, hey, let's protect the money to protect the people with the money. Okay, go to the bank. You got me going to the bank. No, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off, right? It's insane, right? Okay. This is weird. I actually think I'm probably going to meet Janet Jackson and be friends with her like I wrote down when I was a kid. That is weird. Got me a kind of a stomach ache there for a minute. Kind of the same when I grabbed Betsy by the tail the other night. Why? I don't know why it makes me nervous. I have no idea why it makes me nervous. Because I think, the stuff when my first video I made out of Cochise County was literally, I swear to Michael Jackson. Okay, I get why I got a stomach ache. I get it. Meet the kids and thanks for standing up for dad, and everybody would call him a monster and makes lots of money. Yeah, and then you guys don't need to have the Beatles catalog to pay your bills because I'm living in body my Lord's Prayer. And I'm sure dad was aware of that, but he didn't know how to emotionally and intellectually conceptualize it and express it verbally before they killed him. Paris, Blanket, and Prince. Blanket, what do you like to go by? I know I Blanket is just dog. We'll talk. We'll talk. Blanket. I think it's very adorable. I think it was a term of endearment. I don't think he is trying to turn you into a boy named Sue and shit like that. I think it was just the child that Michael was emotionally and psychologically that he was denied because of debt and trespass and his immense talents to bring in lots of money to the show. And which, he loved enjoying music and dancing with people. He just hated the whole business end of it, and everybody in their right mind does. Diana Ross does. She says, you got to do it. You got to survive, because if you don't, they'll destroy you. And she's not a monster. She's just trying to survive monsters. She didn't invent the system. It's like, Billy Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire, we didn't stop in Pokeway. We were feeling really jolly when we left from Raleigh. We didn't stop in Pokeway. No, we didn't do it. We just drove right through it. I still remember that. I'm never going to stop. That's funny. Okay. Spoofs make me laugh. I'm like Michael. That's funny. Yeah. It's funnier than Scum Diegos and look at all these Zonas. I think we didn't stop in Pokeway. That was really cute. It was adorable. Yeah, it was funny. It wasn't picking on anybody. It was just being stupid. It was very funny. They have a little town in North Carolina called Pokeway. And so we didn't stop in Pokeway. We were feeling really jolly when we left from Raleigh, but we didn't stop in Pokeway. No, we didn't do it. We just drove right through it. It's like, that's adorable. It's not saying she's a butterface. It's not getting, lady, I wouldn't give you a library card. It's not making fun of anybody. It's not even making fun of Pokeway. It's drawing attention to Pokeway. When you're in Pokeway, stop in Pokeway. Say hi to people in Pokeway. Try the biscuits and gravy at the diner. Okay, there you go. It's just being cute. It's adorable. It's just good old country humor. It was fun, right? And so I'm connecting to people. You and me out on the farm. Well, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous to meet Janet Jackson. This is really weird. Well, if I meet Janet Jackson, that means I'm going to have to meet Max and Emmy's mommy, and that also makes me nervous. Well, it didn't make me nervous before. When she talked to me in prayer back in the day when the Temple Set Illuminati was mind fucking her and head fucking her. Hi, Pink. Hi, Christina Aguilera. I love you too. But so I was sitting there. I didn't feel. I knew it was. I know. Oh, Tyler Perry, don't cry. Tyler Perry, don't cry, baby, baby, don't cry. Don't cry. I love Medea too. No, I don't want to hug you in a dress. No. Dude, if I give you a hug, you ain't going to be wearing no dress. Do you understand? Okay. Oh, Boy George can wear a dress if he wants to. But RuPaul, if I give RuPaul a hug in a dress, I'm okay with that. And Will Ferrell, yes, I would gladly give little Debbie a kiss while chastising the children and say, hey, we don't do extortion anymore, so nobody's going to throw a bitch fit and you throw your Xbox in the pool. And your Xbox can be used to play good video games if people aren't giving you name, image, likeness. There you go. Could I have some oatmeal cream cakes? Yeah, me too. Hey, Patrick Noah, you want some? It's funny, but okay, gosh. I'm getting hit by a wave of people. I want to get out of hell. You're already out of it. It's instantaneous. Guys, people don't pay for their crimes. Their crime is the payment. Do you understand? Sin is sin, and the moment you decide to act in sin, you're living in hell. And truth is truth. And when you accept truth and you faithfully love, then you act heavenly. You're an angel. Okay? But if you give in to sin and say, I don't need to do that. Jesus paid for it. I can be a shithead. I can blow people up with bombs. I can vote for president. I can be Gypsy Rose if I want to and pay all their bills with my money I did by marketing my sexuality. Javon, I swear, by the moon and the stars up above. I know Javon Root Pete and Cardalicious, Aloysius, whatever, and Mickey Minaj. I know they all completely adore me and they love me because I'm the guy like Jesus, and I'm the one who saves their children from being stuck on the pole at the Gypsy Rose factory with the bells on their fingers and the bell rings on the toes, and you know what I'm saying. I know they love me. I'm not stupid. Yes, Josh Allen loves me. Yes, John Elway loves me. Yes, John Bon Jovi loves me. And he thinks living with a bear is funny, and I do too. And yes, Steve does. Steve also does an excellent Frank Oz too. We were both pretty good at Waka Waka. We can do a pretty good Frank Oz. Right. It's hard on I totally agree, John. It is hard on the vocal cords. I know Frank is crazy. He can do that for a whole damn movie. Well, it's not crazy. It's his vocal cords are crazy. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Yeah. Jersey in the house. Okay. Jersey. The Garden State. All right. I don't think Rutgers is a joke. I think it's a training facility for economic conflict and warfare. And that's not a joke. That's very serious. It's as serious as West Point, as serious as Annapolis, as serious as the Air Force Academy. And it seriously needs to stop now. Thank you very much. All you Broncos at New Mexico Military Institute that don't want to piss on top of the Lobo and want to be a good kid. I know you want to be a good kid. I love you too, Diego. I know you have macho bullshit in you. I was raised in New Mexico too. I like Chris Perez too. I like Mark Anthony too. I like Victor Laveau too. Nobody likes a kiss ass, Pavia. Okay, just kidding. You've been doing your homework? Just kidding. No, I wanted to run into Diego and Jerry and meet them, but I never did. Yeah, I wanted to. I wanted to have a talk with him, and just set him down and connect to the soul and just, hey, and ask him if you're doing all right. You do know they abuse you hellfied worse than they abuse me. I know, but you asked me if I'm doing okay. Of course. I'm getting abused all the hell, okay? And my kids come to visit me through this prison window. I sit there and say, don't you care that I'm getting abused all the hell so you can live the Lord's Prayer, you little bastard? Are you okay? You doing all right? I know that my abuse affects you emotionally, physically, and psychologically. It's been kicking my ass lately, and I love you so much, Emily. You will always be my prim. Katie, you will always be my bug. Cake, you will always be my cake. Crumb, you will always be my cake. Natalie, you're my little protector, and I completely adore you eternally. And if we'd both been born in another place, probably in this moment might be the ending with a kiss. But instead, I love you. I honestly love you. I honestly love you. Natalie, don't make me cry. I swear I will. You can't spank her. It doesn't do any good. She says she likes it and makes it turns her on. You're like, okay, that's too much information. I'm going to kill everybody in the Temple Set Illuminati that has a virtual presence that sexually abuses children with technology and artificial, CGI programming. Yes. This Arkham Asylum shit needs to stop post haste. Toot sweet. Candy you whistle, the whistle you eat. Toot fucking sweet. None of you are being truly scrumptious at all. Okay. You chitty, bang, bang. Chitty, and bang, bang. Chitty. You're not hog balls, cornbread, and chitlins, and you're not tofu, brown rice, and carrot juice, neither. You chitty, bang, bang. You need to stop. Bang, bang. David Sanborn, it's a good song. Go listen to it. Okay. Chitty. That's how you say shitty in the Mesilla Valley when you're growing up. Like Patrice, say dog. Oh, fuck you, Earl. She can't roll her R's. Okay, dude. It's very important. Say it, Okay, so I could do better with my Spanish, especially. Look, who's the critic out there? Who's the critic? Cuanto te quiero yo ti como. I could probably do a little bit better. Maybe so. I wasn't trying to. I was just quoting lyrics. All we are is dust in the wind, bro. Hi, Keanu. Thanks for being nice to the ladies at the call center at Southwest Airlines. It was very sweet of you. I understand that you're being dumb as a box of rocks thinking you found nirvana. It's cool. You don't have to. Okay, Chunk. What's your favorite ice cream? Okay. I'm gonna leave you a letter in the mailbox of the lake house. Okay, you can read it then. Okay, I love you too. You gotta admit that's funny. Okay. I like Patrick Swayze too. Okay. I thought we got along. He's a pretty nice guy. Everybody has their extremes and their things that they do, but I like him too. Everybody has their demons and their extremes and stuff that they have to deal with eternally because we're not living right. And since we're not living right, it affects everybody. I totally agree, Keanu. Thanks, dude. That was pretty cool. Tell your business partner I'm going to kick his ass until he stands up for the Lord's Prayer. You too. Okay. Well, we deserve it. I agree. Okay. That was cool. Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Bill. Excellent. Okay. Party on, dudes. Not till we're living the Lord's Prayer. There you go. That was really quick. Wow. That was fast. You know Kung Fu? I don't. Really? I don't know Kung Fu. I have not met the Fu family. There's Sung Kung. You know him. Wow. It's Kung Fu. You get it? It's actually, the way we Americans would say it would be Kung Fu, but it would actually be Fu Kung. Last name Fu, first name Kung. We're being silly. Sorry. Can't help ourselves. I like Hong Kong Fu too. I like Scatman Crothers too. I don't think you're kissing ass, Reeves. I believe you. But you have to be dumb not to like Scatman Crothers, and Hong Kong Fu is quite funny. So I totally believe you on that one. Yeah, I don't think you're making that shit up. I don't think you're going all Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song on my ass. I'm joking with them. I'm kidding. I know they know Michael. I understand that. And Michael's his friend and was very kind and loving. Yeah, I totally agree. Macaulay. You're going to make me cry? Brenda, don't shut up. I'm just kidding. Don't start leaking. That's cute. You guys are cute. I like your kids. Your kid's not a liar. He actually feels like him and Dad are one in spirit because Dad takes care of him so much and loves him so much, pays so much attention to him. You guys are going to make me cry. Stop making me cry. You're making Britney Spears cry. Stop it, Culkin family. No. No more crying. There's no crying. We're not playing baseball. There's no crying in basketball either. Or cornhole or darts. Pickleball, there could be crying in pickleball. Some people hit, you get hit in the face, you can cry. Like the poor little girl in the softball. Yeah, that got hit in her little private parts and then hit with the 70 mile an hour. And she was crying. I was crying for her. I'm like, poor baby. Yeah, she's so tough. And it's not, I know we got to come find some way to protect the pitchers when we play softball with not just the face. It hit her right in the reproductive parts. 70 miles an hour for softball. That's how would you like to get punched by Joe Frazier? It's wrong. Okay. We got to find a way to protect that if the little girls are playing softball. We got to love our softballers. Yeah, our girly girls, keep them safe, especially the reproductive parts. I mean, sheesh. No wife, no life. Right, there you go. Okay, nobody likes a kiss-ass Culkin. I'm just kidding. That's funny. Okay. How's Zach and Cody? Ask them. Okay, how you guys doing? Okay, that's funny. Okay, I'll talk later, guys. Being the Ark of the Covenant can be overwhelming when people get together in prayer and are trying to help their family get out of hell and they feel like they can't help Earl. Guys, the courage of the Messiahs and the people that follow the Messiahs in the past and the kindness of the people in the future, the only way to have kindness is through the courage of faith. Okay? The Mass explained. Catholic Mass 101. Learn every part of the Mass. Is that like mass times density squared? The Ascension presents, okay, what if it was people from the future inventing a wormhole through a space station with a spaceship that you didn't know about yet and took Jesus and did stem cell research to rejuvenate his body, move him to the future of people they thought were angels, and then moved him to the year 3000 to keep killing people for corporate greed with banking? Would you still believe in Jesus as the eternal faithful Father and have faith in infinite glory? Well, then congratulations, you're a Christian and a Muslim. Well, because Arabs and Romans are both given life by the glory of God. Hallelujah, brother, right? Okay. The re-enlistment of Marine Corps staff, okay. Johnny Joey, stand up for a Lord's Prayer. You don't need to kill people for a paycheck. If they give you a piece of metal across your clothing and they say that was brave, just tell them, no. Courage of kindness is living the ways of Jesus Christ. I want to be like him. Yeah, me too, Johnny Joey. Okay.